All right, guys, welcome to another live stream. Welcome to another live stream. We are live. Happy Monday. The solar eclipse was today. I didn't see it live, but I definitely heard about it on the news, and everybody was talking about it at work. So hopefully some of you got to witness that, depending on where you live. If not, I'm pretty sure you saw some videos, you saw some footage online. All right, so in today's video, we're going to talk about the Bitcoin halving. The Bitcoin halving is coming up. I believe April 20th is the date. It's set to take place. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is basically the reduction of the supply that comes to the market for Bitcoin. So, you don't have to be a genius to know how that's going to affect price. Right. So in the last few months, we had a surplus of demand when it comes to Bitcoin because of the spot Bitcoin ETFs. So, you have that increase in demand. And then also the space itself is just maturing. So there's demand from that. And then when price goes up, you just get a whole bunch of retail investors coming in as well. So, yeah, we have demand coming from all sources, and we have a decrease in supply. So obviously that's going to be good for the market, or that's going to be good for Bitcoin. And then obviously that trickles down into altcoins as well. So I think in the next couple months, we're going to see an increase in price. Now, you typically do see a little drawdown after the halving, and for me, that's just to shake investors out. But yeah, you want to, if you're an investor, you definitely don't want to get shaken out by any of the dips you see after the halving. If we even do see a dip, you don't want to get shaken out. I would suggest at least holding positions until the end of the year, right? Whatever you see in the next month, the next couple weeks, the next 2 months, I wouldn't make any decisions off that. This is the time to hold positions, and maybe even add to a position if it's right for your investing strategy. So yeah, that's my opinion on the halving, and it should be exciting. I think it's especially for people that have been holding all the way, back in 2016, 2017. Obviously, people that have been holding since 2010 or 2011, and if they're still holding, they're doing pretty good. But I think for most people that got in like recently, they're not like old heads, but they're not new to the game. So that's like the 2016, 2017. That's when I got into crypto. But yeah, that group of people, it should be interesting if you're still holding your positions. I think people are gonna, if you have the right assets, I think at least if you're in the top 100, I think you're going to do good. But even coins that are not in the top 100, there's some good plays, but those that are not in the top 100 do require a lot of research to make sure you're not getting into a coin that's just going to rug pull, or some type of meme coin that's you're not going to, you may lose your money. So, but yeah, I think if you're in the right projects, it's definitely an exciting time, because I definitely see the market appreciating a lot in the next couple months. All right, so let me share my screen. So, and I don't know what was going on with the computer, but it's getting a lot of, I had to restart this a lot today. All right. Okay. So yeah, so I have Bitcoin up. I think we usually go over the overall market. Let's go over the overall market first, and then we can hop over to Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto market. All right. So the S&P is down 0.04%, not too much. Pay attention to the number right here, 5,200. It's going to be important when we go to this article right here, Wallstreet's predictions on equities by the end of the year. And so the Dow's down a little bit. The NASDAQ is up a little bit. Russell's up a little bit. Crude oil is down. And then we have gold that's up. I think gold has been on a little run recently. All right. So let's go over to the crypto market because I think that's the market that's been heating up the most. And then maybe we'll come back and we'll take a look at some of maybe the AI plays. And what was the stock that went public that I was talking about a few weeks ago? Reddit. We'll take a look at that too. See how that's doing. All right. So if we look, and if we go to the trading view, so this weekend, right, we crashed our last week, and then going into the weekend, we were at 63, 65 area. But what this was like a double bounce. So we had this huge appreciation from, I'm going to move this around. We had this huge appreciation from 40,000 breaking all-time highs, 71, and then a dip right here. This could be just a little consolidation before it rips higher. And like I said, Bitcoin typically doesn't break all-time highs prior to the halving. So the fact that we did that, we may be ripping up higher. And there's a lot of demand for Bitcoin because of the spot BTC ETFs. Remember, these ETFs need to hold physical Bitcoin, so they need to be buying it, right? Especially if they're issuing shares, they expect the price of those shares to go up because they expect the price of Bitcoin to go up. So it's in their interest to keep buying, to hold these Bitcoins. And to me, it's basically like art at this point. They are creating a Bitcoin. There are a lot of projects creating smart contract functionality on Bitcoin, DEXs, decentralized exchanges. So there is an ecosystem being built on Bitcoin, layer 2. So it's not just holding it, sending it for payment. There's actually utility coming to Bitcoin. So that's very interesting as well. If you guys haven't heard of the project called Stacks, they're doing some interesting things when it comes to layer 2 on Bitcoin to speed up, to basically make Bitcoin functional. The whole point of Bitcoin was to use it for payment and, send it to people, have it be quick, be able to own it and not give up your authority. So I think it has some of those qualities, but now with these projects building on the layer 2 or building a layer 2 on the network, you're going to see more people get into Bitcoin opposed to like an Ethereum, where Ethereum has already DEX functionality, smart contract functionality, and it has all these use cases where Bitcoin in the beginning really didn't have. It was just used for a store of value. You're able to send it, but it takes a while, 20 to 30 minutes, which in the grand scheme of things, it's really not that long. If you think about it, like if you go to the bank to do a wire, I'm not sure. When I used to work at the bank, I knew it was a long process to do a wire. And I think it was like $30-$40 depending on depending on how much money you want to send. So I'm not sure if they charge you like a percentage depending on how much you want to send to somebody. But I know it took more than a day, depending on the day, right? If you send your wire on Friday, I think not until Monday that person's not going to get that, right? I think, it only works during business hours, and, you had to pay for the wire. So I think Bitcoin definitely, when it comes to like wires and stuff like that, it definitely beat out that, or it thrives, before people building a layer 2 on it. I think it thrived in sending money within 20 to 30 minutes. It was good for that. But again, it didn't have smart contract functionality. And yeah, I think with these people building a layer two on the network, I think it's going to bring more eyes to the project and, you know, more usability, right? So, yeah. So if we look at the chart, like we said, it was crashing from 70 when it broke its all-time highs. Went to 62, 61. Then it bounced from there, and it looks like it's gaining support, right? So it had this dip here, got support, came up a little bit. Now it hit there, so basically making higher lows, right? Its first low was at 62.5, and then its second low was at 65, and now we have a bounce, back over 70K, 72,000 right now, going into the halving. This is really bullish in my opinion because usually we do see a little sell off before the halving and after. Well, no, I think we do see a run up into the halving, and then after we see a little dip. So we'll see. We'll see after April 20th. I think that's the target. It switches up. It speeds up and slow. Like the date of the halving is like always changes depending on how fast the blocks are going. So it's but I would say in the next 2 to 3 weeks we'll see, and then what happens after with the price, right? It'd be nice if it just keeps going up and it just keeps consolidating, because that wasn't too bad of a crash from 70. What was it? From 72 to 62. So that was, it wasn't too bad of a crash compared to what we've seen in the past, right? But yeah. So yeah, the halving's coming up. So it should be interesting. And Bitcoin's price is perking up. All right, so let's take a look at Ethereum and let's see what Ethereum's doing. Ethereum's come up too. If we go to the full chart, I don't know why it doesn't let me do that. You know what? Because I'm clicking on, because I have a double screen, so I'm clicking on the screen I'm looking at, but it's not the screen that I need to be clicking on. It doesn't take, which is weird. All right, so whatever. Let's go to the trading view. All right, so same thing for Ethereum. Ethereum went up all the way to 4,000, and then it crashed with Bitcoin. Now we typically see Ethereum like when the halving occurs and we get the drawdown. That's typically when we see altcoins run, and then Bitcoin usually just shoots up. I think we're definitely going to get over 100K, but who knows when. All right, I definitely think before the end of the year. But yeah, so Ethereum followed suit. It crashed from 4,000 to 3,200, and now we're seeing the bounce back. Bitcoin bounce back. Now we're seeing Ethereum bounce back, and again, it's making lower highs. So it caught at 32, caught support again around 33, and now we bounced up all the way to 3,700. And all right, so some catalysts, I guess, for Ethereum. One is the Ethereum spot ETF, which a lot of people don't think it's going to get approved. And I honestly don't think it's going to get approved. I think it's going to get approved eventually, but I don't think it's going to get approved now, just because the SEC has launched a investigation on entities associated with the Ethereum project. So I don't know if that's definitely not going to help it get approved. So maybe by the end of the year we get an approval, depending on how that investigation goes. But the funny thing is Coinbase just won their lawsuit. So I'm not sure how they're able to launch investigations and claim things are security if Coinbase just won their XRP won, right? XRP won their lawsuit, and then Ethereum won their lawsuit, or Coinbase just won their lawsuit because the SEC was saying that Coinbase listed securities or sold securities on their exchange, and I think it just came out that the tokens that they deemed securities were when the verdict came in, they were deemed not to be securities. So yeah, I think it's just a way to so they could prevent this ETF, this Ethereum ETF from getting approved. But yeah, we'll see, right? And I think in May is the deadline. Most likely they'll push it back because I think they're allowed to push it back like 2 or 3 times, or maybe the final date is in May, but they'll probably deny it, in my opinion. It'd be a shot if they do get approved. I mean, you could probably expect the same thing that happened in Bitcoin. As soon as I think it was like a few weeks after that the spot ETFs got approved, you just started seeing inflows, right? You saw it all over Twitter. People were talking about, inflow 200 million today, 300 million today. It's going to be the same thing for Ethereum, right? There's just going to be a bunch of inflows. And I think it's good to pay attention to some of these smaller, when I say smaller projects, like the top 10, right? Because if Bitcoin gets its own ETF, and let's say Ethereum gets its own ETF, most likely Solana will get its own ETF, an Avalanche will get its own ETF, and it may even trickle down to some of the top meme coins, right? Or just the top 20 in general. Those are going to be the first 20 to get to get their own ETF, right? They're not going to go into the 200. They're going to wait. They're going to look at the top 10, and those are the ones that are going to get an ETF, in my opinion. All right. So yeah, Ethereum's doing good. It's bouncing back. It'll be interesting to see what. So like again, we typically do see a dip after the halving. So this may be just a quick little bounce, and then maybe we crash a little bit more after the halving. But if Bitcoin just keeps going up, then I don't think that's going to be the case. You're right. This may be the biggest bull run in crypto, right? Because we are breaking trends. So, what typically happened before is not a guaranteed now. Even though literally the last 2 to 3 bull runs, the same pattern happened. We had Bitcoin halving, and then price dip for a month or two, and then we just get a super spike. But now we have Bitcoin breaking its all-time highs before the halving. We get spot coin BTC spot ETFs approved. So now we have a bunch of more demand other than the typical retail demand, and right, like, so all the trends are being broken. It's not the same trend. So yeah. So let's take a look at the biggest gainers. 24 hours. So Neo's another smart contract. I believe it's out of China. Let's move this. Neo, Toncoin, Nervous Network. This is a Solana based meme coin, and this is they were saying that they would. I think it was the Coin Bureau that was saying they think it can go to $10. Lido DAO. This one is interesting to look at as well. I'm not going to say whether I'm invested in it or not, but this one's an interesting one as well, because this one is the staking protocol, the number one staking protocol for Ethereum. So, and they have over 30 billion, I think it's like 35 billion Ethereum locked. And right now, I mean, the market cap is only 2.6. So this is an interesting one as well. VeChain is oldie. Basically, supply chain is what it focuses on. And then synthetics, basically synthetic assets, so being able to trade things like stocks, on the blockchain. Basically tokenize, make a synthetic version of assets and trade them on the blockchain. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Ethereum's in the top. Optimism too. So Optimism is a layer 2. They think this is. I heard from a lot of sources that this one is probably it's gonna do the best out of all the layer 2s, but who knows, right? So there's Optimism, there's Arbitrum, Base, coins on Base, like we were talking about Aerodrome. They are probably going to do. I mean, obviously, Aerodrome is doing really good right now, but Base doesn't have a coin, so you would. And Coinbase has 100+ million users, so most likely coins on the Base network are going to do really good. But you got to do your research for those. Those are involve a lot more due diligence, I would say. Right. All right. And I wonder if these gaming plays are going to come back, like the Sandbox. Like the Sandbox did really well. And you see it. I don't know if it's coming back. It looks like it's making a attempt to come back. Let's look at the thing. Yeah, I mean, if you look at this, it went from 83 cents to $4. It's number 81. It could make maybe gaming plays do come back. I think Avalanche is probably going to be they're working on a lot on gaming stuff, but who knows if that's a play, like what do you call it? Like trend. You have these trends, right? We had the AI trend, which is still going in my opinion. So you saw the AI cryptos blow up. Last bull cycle it was gaming, like things like the Sandbox, NFTs, and what else? Meme coins. I think meme coins was always the thing, but it was like meme coins, NFTs, and then gaming plays like the Sandbox. Now we have AI, and then I think DEXs too. Decentralized finance was a thing, like DEXs. I think DEXs are always going to be a good play. Like you saw Aerodrome on Base. Spike. Look at that again. Right, and it looks like it's about to break its resistance right now. Yeah, it looks like it's about to break to the upside, $2. So yeah, this one just keeps going up. I didn't get into this one. I've heard about it. I forget the YouTuber. I'm gonna look him up. That was talking about him. I want to get his name because I do want to give credit. I like his channel as far as like the summaries he does. Crypto. Yeah, Brian Jung has he's like 1.79 million. He always comes out with the top 5 cryptos, top 5 crypto narratives. Yeah, I mean he was the one that I saw about Aerodrome. I didn't when he first mentioned it. I wasn't around, but I think when it was around like 80 cents or 70 cents. The cool thing about this one, it's on Coinbase. But at this point, I wouldn't get in it, me personally, because I feel like I think it could go way higher. Probably could go to $5-6, but at this point, I feel like it's too late. And I already have my own place for the bull market, and I'll definitely share it with you guys once I get out of the bull market, because I don't like mentioning what I'm in while I'm in the bull market, because I don't like people copying what I do, and then if they lose money, they're blaming you for what happened. So yeah, but yeah, this one's I'm gonna keep watching this one and see what's up. I'm actually am invested. This is a DEX, so I am invested in another DEX, and I'll reveal that one later. Again, when I reveal what I traded this bull market. But yeah, so yeah, I think dexes are another dex again, not like that I was looking at was Uniswap. They look like they're about to turn on fees, and Uniswap is the biggest dex out there. Uniswap, it's on Ethereum. The chart is looking really good. It's setting up real nice for the bull market. So if you take a look at their governance, they are looking to pass a proposal to trigger fees to be given out to shareholders of Uniswap from the protocol. So, basically, if you own Uniswap, you're going to get paid off the fees, and they generate a lot of fee revenue. I think it's billions of dollars. So I think if that gets approved, we'll definitely see something nice for Uniswap. I'm definitely looking at it. I'm not invested in it now, but actually, I think I do have like a few Uniswap, but I'm not invested in it. I think like $100. I don't know why. I think I was doing something. I was like practicing on a Dex or something like that. But yeah, this was a good one to watch too. It's at $11. It's a good chance that it does break the all-time highs for the bull run, right? Especially if they pass that proposal to enact fees. I definitely can see that. All right, but yeah, so the bull market is heating up, and the fear and greed index, right? So the fear and greed index is 76. For those of you who don't know what the fear and greed index is, it's basically a way to measure what people think about the crypto market right now. As we get into the crypto market, I mean, I think they always had it, but obviously in the bear market, it was probably way lower. And I think the highest we got was like somewhere around 96, 97. And they think we're going to go way past that going into this bull run. So once that gets to over 90, you'll probably, that's when you're going to start to see things heat up. So it's 76 right now. This is probably a good indicator to look at to tell, what part of the bull run we're in. I think before we were up at like when Bitcoin was hitting 70K or passing its all-time highs, I think this indicator was like right around 90. But I think 95 or 96 is the highest. They think that it's going to break its all-time highs for this bull run, but we'll see. But yeah, this is a good indicator to keep track of, the fear and greed index. All right, so let's talk about this article, and then we'll close out for the day. So it says Wallstreet just gave its highest S&P 500 forecast yet. So if we look at what I was talking about earlier, I said pay attention to this number. This is the S&P 500. It's 5,200 right now. It says, so let's read the article. It says the higher watermark for stock projections in 2024 has once again moved up. In a new note to clients on Monday, Wells Fargo head of equity strategy Christopher Harvey boosted his year-end target for the S&P 500 to 535 from 4,625. So right now it's at 52,202, and Wall Street is predicting that it will go to 5,535. So that's around 10% will be around 550. So a $300 increase would be 10%. What did I say? 10% would be 500. So yeah. So it'll probably be around 3% increase, which is pretty decent, I think. But it started at 4,625. I'm not sure if we were at that at the beginning of the year. I don't think so. I think that was probably towards the end of last year. This marks the highest call for the S&P 500 by year end among strategists tracked by Yahoo Finance. It reflects about 6% upside from where the benchmark average opened on Monday. All right, so 6% increase. Well, that's not a 6% increase. That is a. Are they talking about from like 4? I took it 3%, right? Where are they getting this number? So we go up. Right now it's at 52 divided by. Oh, never mind. It is 6%. I was doing it wrong because you got to take 300 divided by 52, not 300 divided by 55. Never mind. Yeah, so it is around 6% increase. They are correct. Wells Fargo issued highest S&P year-end forecast yet. So I guess this is everybody else's forecast. Citi predicts 5,100. Bank of America 5,400. Open Hamire 5,500. UBS 5,400. So yeah, they have the biggest prediction. JP Morgan 42. So JP Morgan's predicting that will end negative. Right now we're at 52, which is weird that they predict that. They also predicted, JP Morgan also predicted that Bitcoin will be going to or the CEO predicted Bitcoin would be going to zero, right? But they also invest in Bitcoin, right? I think they back BlackRock. So I don't know. Can't really trust JP Morgan's predictions. They say 4,200. I'm not sure how they think that. If interest rates are going to cut, prices most likely will go up. We are in a bull market. So who knows? Unless they're thinking we already increased. We did go up in price already, but who knows? I think Wells Fargo is more on point and Bank of America is more on track. All right. Harvey believes the current market moment has investors looking past the possibility that stock valuations have risen too high. Okay, so yeah, that's probably what JP Morgan and these people at the bottom are thinking, that stock valuations have risen too high. So maybe they're thinking we're going to cool down going towards the end of the year. Amid the market rally, providing further room for stocks to move higher. The bull market, AI's secular growth story, and index concentration have shifted investors' attention away from traditional relative valuation measures and toward long-term growth and discounting metrics, Harvey wrote. Investors' valuation thresholds have decreased and time horizons have appeared to have increased since 2023 as a result of the secular optimism. Harvey's the latest in a string of strategists boosting their projects for S&P 500 this year as they aim to keep pace with a hot start for stocks in 2024. He noted that U.S. economic growth has come in better than expected since his team published its 2024 outlook in November, a positive sign for corporate growth. But given the S&P's roughly 9% rise this year without a significant pullback, Harvey and other strategists know that the index next leg higher likely won't come as swiftly for investors. And I think that's great because, I think this is, like I said, what I was talking about this in one of my other live streams. I was talking about the imbalance that we're going to see. And again, for those of you who don't remember what I was talking about, the imbalance is when a market like crypto goes up, has its bull run, you make a bunch of money in that market, that sector, but other sectors haven't caught up yet because maybe they have risen too much, so maybe they're cooling down. And it's an imbalance because you have an opportunity to take that money that you made in crypto and put it in stocks or put it in real estate. Now, I think real estate, I was listening to Richard Fain, and I agree with him too. I don't think you're going to see real estate prices come down. I think we've made a new bottom for real estate. So like where I live, you can't buy a decent home for less than $400,000 to $500,000, and I'm talking about like a 3 to 2 bedroom. You can't find it, right? Maybe you could, but it's not going to be. If you find something for 300, 350, it's probably not going to be in a good neighborhood. Probably going to have to. You always lock your doors, but it's just not going to be in a good neighborhood. I think you are, you can't get a house, a good house, or even a good condo for less than $400,000 or $500,000. So maybe when people are waiting for interest rates to come down, I agree with Richard. He said People are waiting for interest rates to come down, but when interest rates come down, prices are going to go up because the demand for homes, people are going to say, oh, interest rates are down, I want to get a home. So people are waiting for prices to come down, or prices to come down and interest rates to come down. I think you're going to get one or the other. You're not going to get both, right? If we don't end up cutting interest rates that much this year, expect prices to stay high. And if we do cut, or come down a little bit, but if we do get interest rates cut a lot to where people want to borrow money again to get a home, I think you're going to see prices go up because you're going to see demand go up. So I don't know. I feel like for houses, I've kind of steered away from getting into real estate right now. I do want to get into real estate, but for me, like I said, I made a video on why paper assets are better than real estate. I do think you do have a lot of tax advantages when it comes to real estate, but getting into it, I just think the upside is just way better for paper assets, especially in a sector like crypto. If you know what you're doing, if you put in the research, and you're not just putting your money into meme coins and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think it's a good real estate. It's definitely something I want to get into, but if there's like I said, if there's an imbalance, maybe it's something I do pursue. But right now, I like paper assets. It's easy to move. Like if I wanted to move, I don't need it. I don't need to sell my property. I don't need to put it on the market and then wait. And I just feel like a lot of money's tied up in real estate. But yeah, so that the imbalance. So here when they said, the next leg up for stocks won't come swiftly, I think that's great especially for crypto investors. I think we're going to get the bull market first, and maybe you if you're in that situation, when you make some money off of crypto, you can go and put it in your favorite stocks, and then you get the rally in stocks whenever that comes. Keep hitting in the mic. All right. Let's see what else they say. I think that's it right there. Let's look at Reddit. I wanted to look at Reddit. All right. So remember Reddit? We were talking about Reddit a while ago. It opened up at 49, and like I said, it was going to crash going in to a few weeks into when it got IPO'd. So we'll see how far this tanks. Usually, people are selling that invested early in the stock, private investors. So I think we'll probably see a crash for a little bit here and then maybe get a rebound later, because that's the same thing that happened at Coinbase. Coinbase, when it IPO'd, I think it started around close to 150, 200. Then it crashed all the way down to like $30. Now I think Coinbase coin 256, right? So that's 4x. Close to 4x your money. Dropped down all the way to like $40. Actually more, like 6-7x your money. So that, and Coinbase was like, it's basically betting on how good Bitcoin's going to do because they invest in crypto. So if Bitcoin does good, Coinbase does good. And also, I'm pretty sure they hold other cryptos as well, like Ethereum. So I thought, Coinbase was definitely one of those plays where if you believed in Bitcoin, that would have been probably a good play too. I didn't invest in Coinbase because I'm invested in crypto, so I think you have more upside in crypto, but definitely Coinbase was a good stock to invest in. Potentially too, it's a good stock to invest in future. The market cap is only 62, so I could definitely see it being $100 million plus company, which would probably bring it to around $500. So it'd be double your money. But who knows, right? It has run up a lot. Now, one thing I want to touch on before I leave is NVIDIA. NVIDIA is seeing a little bit of a crash. To me, the chart is just overextended. I know people are crazy about the AI, and I like AI as well, but I definitely look at that chart and I'm like, definitely a correction I think is coming. Now to where? I think maybe to 750. So I think right now the hype is too much to where people are just AI this, AI that, everything AI. So I look at that chart, I think it's overextended, and people are rushing in and buying, which I think is just going to present just a good opportunity later when people sell and you get that crash, right? So we'll see what happens to the AI plays. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you Wednesday. Take care.